And welcome back to more Mega Man 4, where we got one more Robot Master to go before the second half of the game, and that's going to be Pharaoh Man. And I will say right now, the reason I went to Ring Man then Pharaoh Man is because I need the Ring Boomerang to get a power-up for, or the last beat power-up. So let's see, the easy way to get through this sand is to use the Rain Flush, and you don't sink anymore, which is always good. And not only that, but the scorpions don't come out, so the Rain Flush is extremely useful for getting through a lot of hazards. Which is one thing I wish the NES game actually bothered to harness, but unfortunately they didn't really do as much as they could have. Let's see, the topic for today is going to be... Oh, damn. The topic for today is going to be about this podcast I recently listened to with Ringtail Randall, the Old World Gamer, and I think Scott Devin Kane. I think he was the third one. And they were talking about LP communities and why they don't really exist anymore. And I think the simple answer is that it has to do with community maintenance. I mean, every relationship does need maintenance, and that's admittedly something I have to get a lot better at myself. But let's see, I was part of a few different communities, and the ones I'm part of now are, of course, Facebook's Let's Play Corner, and also Brywheel, that actually encouraged me to LP and to get into Let's Playing in the first place. But yeah, as far as my, I guess, group origins, or my origins with joining a community had to go with, I was actually first approached by DKS3A, and you guys know him as Daniel on the Let's Play Corner, but he was actually one of the first, I guess, Let's Players that ended up finding me. And let's see, I think the Old World Gamer was actually second after that, but let's see, I did end up joining in with, at that time, the Faction of Players, but then, unfortunately, that one just, wasn't really maintained all that well, which is actually a shame because a lot of my, favorite LPers I subscribed to recently were actually a part of that. I mean, a lot of the people that I follow and a lot of the people that follow me were actually part of that group, and that includes people like, Blind Man's World, the Engaged Gamers, Jave, and then, let's see, yeah, I think that was most of them, and then Legendary Plumber I think was there too. But let's see, getting back to the topic, I did end up enjoying the interaction as far as the Let's Play Corner goes, and I think that's why this community actually does have a chance as far as, you know, maintaining status as opposed to, you know, just not being able to be maintained like the Faction of Players was. And I think that was just because the real world interfered with some of them, and unfortunately people couldn't really, or I guess the people couldn't maintain it, which was unfortunately what happened to them. Now I'm dead. Yep, that was stupid of me. I was supposed to go to that, other block on the right first. I'll just see you guys back there. Okay, so where was I? Let's see, also, the Save State was another group that I was a part of, and that's kind of a subsidiary of Brywheel, and that's that, the people there were trying to form something, and unfortunately we kind of hit a rut now. And you know what I can do is I can definitely do a better job of participating in it now that I'm not really engulfed in classes or any of that stuff. So, you know, this is Pharaoh Man, you just shoot him with Flash Stopper. Not really too tough. But see, yeah, getting back to the topic, the save state has been kind of up and down for me recently, but I am ready to contribute more to it. And with that, Pharaoh Man is done, and that is the end of our 4th Robot Master. And also, the reason I feel that the Let's Play Corner has a chance to be something special is that, you know, we all interact with each other, we're all actually there for each other at different times. And then also I think that, you know, we can stick together much better now. And now that we got that, Beat has shown up now that we have all 4 tokens. And he works the exact same way as in Mega Man 5 and Mega Man 6, he just attacks enemies. Definitely very useful though. I mean, especially for taking out some enemies that are way out of your range. Let's see, I want to go to Dr. Light's lab now because I want to get this. And this is going to be the energy balancer. And this was actually the first game where the energy balancer was introduced. Mega Man 6 ended up using it too. As well as Mega Man 7. And then Mega Man X actually had it automatically, which is actually a pretty cool concept. But now that all 4 Robot Masters are done, we can go into Dr. Wily's castle. And I really do like the cinematics here. I mean, you have, well, I mean, the animation's okay, but then again, it is Game Boy. But as far as the cinematics go, you actually get, some pretty interesting animation. Which, as I said in the first video, is actually very highly advanced for the Game Boy. And then, yeah, there's just this little scene with Mega Man and Dr. Wily battling. And the way it worked in the Game Boy games is you had kind of an intermission like this in, after the 4 Robot Masters. Which they did in Mega Man 5, they also did, or Mega Man V, they also did in, Mega Man 7 with a Robot Museum. And that's when Dr. Wily took off with Gutsman, if you remember. And see, they did a lot of different things with it. And in 3 and 4, it was actually more like this, where you went into Dr. Wily's castle and then had to fight like a certain mini-boss or a certain other type of boss. Or there's just a cutscene like in Mega Man 2. And then in Dr. Wily's Revenge, you actually went to the castle after, or you went to the final stage in the game after beating the 4 Robot Masters from Mega Man 1. Which is still pretty interesting because, I mean, I think it worked. You had to. And then after that, when you were in Dr. Wily's castle, you ended up fighting the 4 Robot Masters from Mega Man 2, and then fighting the Mega Man killer of that game, which was Enker. And I think he was a pretty interesting character, to be honest with you. Alright, do one more. I guess not. Yeah, the easy way to deal with this thing is just wait for that thing to dive in at you and then just slide out of the way. And then the reason I'm going behind it is just because it's easier that way. And yeah, I think just one more and then we should have this thing dealt with. But yeah, Dr. Wily's Revenge was by far the hardest one. And I think Jave has a pretty good Let's Play of it in case you want to check one out. But now we're here at Dr. Wily's castle. And we're just here to blow things up. And with these bombs, you just don't want to be too far away, or you don't want to be too close to them when they detonate. Otherwise, the explosion ends up hurting you. Oh, and spoiler alert, we're gonna have to deal with this more than one time. Let's see, yeah, we're just about there. So let's just get the Pharaoh shot up and running. The gasp! It's Dr. Wily! I also like the music change. This then begs a question as to what kind of endurance athlete Dr. Wily is. Because if you've seen the ending of the Wily Wars, or Mega Man chases him for however long, he actually does cover a lot of distance, which is actually very impressive for someone as old as him. But yeah, this is Ballade. Right now he's not too big of a problem. It's just whenever he traps you in the corner, that's when you end up getting into trouble with him. Okay, that definitely shaved off a lot more health than I thought it would. But yeah, now we got our password, and that's the end of the intermission level. So with that said, the second half has just begun. So join me next time as we take out the Mega Man 5 Robot Masters. See you then!